So, hey guys, we're in the danger zone. And as a Jew, I'm in the basement of a Catholic church, which I gotta say, those churches do feel a bit like a danger zone for a Jew like myself. Because, partly I wonder whether I'm going to burst into flames, but Britt called ahead and made sure they turned off the Jews burst into, yes, the heat. No, turned off the heat. That's right, Britt. Good job. Turned off the heat. And, but here's what's on. I'm Jewish, Britt's Catholic. But, I went to confession and forgave her.
Oh, thank you.
No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, they heard the show because they must be one of the literally dozens of people in this neighborhood who may have at one point or another heard Britt on the show. So they called Britt and said, hey, listen, we're having trouble with the coin pusher. Because apparently, at whatever they call the coffee and donuts session after the Mass, they've had a coin pusher out just in case anybody didn't put anything in the collection plate or wanted to give a little extra or whatever. And but the problem is they lost the keys. They don't really care so much about I don't know why Bit is biting her tongue. She has a fiancé. It's his job to do it. I just asked them why they didn't just get a bunch of quarters and play it. And they said, well, we have a bunch of quarters, that we've gotten out of the machine or that were in the collection plate because somebody, I don't know, they wanted $1 and change and they threw in some quarters and took out $1 or maybe a 20. But they have a bunch of quarters to give us. And they said, well, why don't you just use the quarters to win the hundreds off? And they said, well, people have been playing this game for a long time, and so far, not one of them has managed to, how to put this, real Old Testament. None of them has managed to make the walls come tumbling down. Now, in fact, in the back, they have the scene of Joshua ordering the trumpets to blow and the walls of Jericho to come tumbling down. What else do you need to know? In the back behind the wall are at least a couple of dozen $100 bills. Some rolled up, some lying flat. And we're going to give it a try. And we're playing with the church's own quarters. Now, I'm happy to come and do them a favor. But I said, look, if I get all that money off for you, what happens to it? And they said, well, we keep it. It's our money. And I said, well, there is a Jewish temple down the block. So I was thinking, maybe I get it all off, you get 50%, and the temple down the street gets 50%. And the priest, believe it or not, says to me, well, 50% is way too high. And I'm like, excuse me, who's the Jew here? Okay? Who's the Jew here? Do you want it off or not? And he said, okay, how about 45? And I said, I'll tell you what. I'll take the 45. Take the 45. You take the 55. It's your church. It's your money. Seems fair to me. But I can't promise anything. These games are unpredictable. And plot twist, Britt?
I think we should say if we get it all off, we give them 55, and I get to get married for free.
Oh, I didn't know Britt was being charged for her wedding by her own church.
Yeah, only if the priest agrees. I have to sit with him first.
If you're a Jew and you're a member of a Jewish congregation, you don't get charged for a wedding.
Really? No, apparently Catholic churches are, and they're pretty steep too.
Yeah. Well, I guess you wanted. I guess the Catholics really want the marriage to stick, so they got to. Oh, you know what you should say to them?
What?
Tell you what. Here's $1,500, but if our marriage doesn't last, I want it back.
Yeah. I like
Okay.
that. Doubled.
Yes. This is a double or nothing thing. You can just keep going back in, paying $1,500 or whatever it is, breaking up, getting $3,000, marrying twice, get $6,000, and just keep. Yeah, because these days. Anyway, this is one of those coin pushers that they started throwing out there to compete with pinball machines that plays music when you turn it on. So, when I give Britt the word, Britt will turn on the pusher. Well, that seems appropriate. Now, Britt is getting really impatient to play. So just
Play?
go for it, Britt. Well, wait, you had the quarters blessed, right, before you put them in?
I hope so.
We can get the priest back in here.
Yeah, get him back in here. Tell him to bless my quarters, bless our luck.
Yeah, well, I'm sure they've been praying for their money back for quite a time.
In the Jewish, what do you call it? A chapel, a shul, not shul.
In
To go to temple.
Oh, it could be a temple. It could be a synagogue.
So when you go, like we go to church on Sundays.
Yeah.
You go to church, like they have like on Saturdays, right?
Right, because that's the actual Shabbos. You guys mixed it up.
Probably. Do they ask for a collection every week?
No, believe it or not, to be a member of a Jewish congregation is free. They don't ask for a collection. They will sometimes call everybody and nag them for money.
Okay.
And if you want to attend the High Holy Day services, then you have to buy a ticket for actual money.
Are they expensive?
It depends on the particular place, but sometimes they can be.
Yeah, because like every Sunday, the priest gives us a whole talking about how much money the church needs and begs
To
us
fix the roof, right? It's always the roof.
the roof, the pews, and every week they ask us for money, which is nice. But you shouldn't ask. These people should just be willing to give it.
Well, George Carlin has a routine that goes, so according to the Christian church, God is this big man in the sky who controls the world, controls everything, loves you, has saved your soul, and now he needs money.
Yeah.
See, being Jewish, at Jewish temples, they figure if God needs money, if your congregation needs money, God will provide. Or if God needs money, He'll just write you a note.
No.
You can tell it's from God because it's in Hebrew.
Now every week we hear the same story.
Yes, and it's the same roof.
I know, for the past 32 years at least.
I'd love them to, for one reason or another, gas leak. They have to hold services out on a lawn or in the park or something. Mm-hmm. But he's have everything prepared, and he goes in and says, "Well, this place desperately needs a roof.
And see how many people can.
There's no roof here at all. If it rains, what are we going to do? We're going to have to build the roof from scratch. So you guys are going to have to cough up a lot of." No. Well, the quarters are starting to come off the backfield, which is good, and the hundreds are being moved forward, which is good, I guess. But as far as I can tell, the walls ain't tumbling down.
I know.
See, pride is a sin, and Britt really needs to go to confession because she hates to lose. I don't know if she hates to lose so much as she's just a sore loser.
Terrible loser.
Terrible loser. Okay. Well, so far, we really have to work together on this, Britt. We really have to put those quarters in. We have to win the money back. Because otherwise some Goyish Protestant will come in and win it.
I got one of those.
You got a Goyish Protestant?
Yeah.
What do you do? Keep him in? What do you do? Keep him in a closet in your room? What?
My
What's
mother's Protestant.
I'm sorry.
My mother's Protestant.
She is.
Yeah.
And your father is Catholic?
Yeah.
So you're from a mixed marriage?
Yep.
But
We were raised Catholic though.
why?
Because all our friends were Catholic, so we were Catholic. And my mom used to go to church with my dad, so.
Oh.
And religion is very important to my dad.
Okay. Hey, I wonder if it's possible that those hundreds get piled up so high, they'll actually go
flip
right
over?
over. Yeah.
That's what I was thinking too. Funny.
Oh, and just so you know, because we're just trying to help, there's no timeline here. But if we run out of quarters, I don't know if they have any more. Or, because at this point, we're not getting money off their machine. We're just putting more money in it. And some of it's just going into the what some people call the dealer's slots on the side. And they can't get them because they lost the keys. I mean, people call them dealer slots. I call them stealer slots because they're stealing your quarters. But be a shame if we can't get anything off. But at this point, we can't even get the. Maybe they should have gotten someone named Joshua.
Maybe.
That's Elvis. That's Elvis Presley singing Joshua Fit the Battle.
Elvis had a beautiful voice.
Yes. No quarters.
Oh, I got excited. I was about to say, how did that happen?
Nope, no quarters. The sound is just them falling into the Steeler slot.
I don't know, John. This is a little
Yeah.
perplexing. Like, I feel like the tower hasn't even moved.
Well, maybe we should be blowing trumpets. That's
Do
the
you
word for
think-
Joshua.
Maybe.
Let's go ahead and do. Oh, it's moved. It moved. Okay. We should have had more. You should have had more faith.
I should have.
Yeah, Jews don't care about faith.
God teaching me not to doubt.
Well, God teaching you not to doubt me.
Or his machine.
Yeah. Have you heard the phrase Deus Ex Machina?
No.
It means when there's absolutely no way for the hero to win or escape or whatever. But at the end, suddenly a supernatural force or something that we never heard of before just reaches in and saves them. It's like you set up this whole thing that there's no way to escape from, and then something just yanks you out of it and rescues you. And it's sort of unfair to the viewer. And Deus Ex Machina is Greek for the God in the machine. And that's because Greek plays used to include very complicated machines. They were almost on the level of like today's computers, even though they worked off of things like levers and pulleys and strings.
Ooh, I got some
Wait,
coins.
nope. You got chips, baby.
Chips.
But hey, look, guys. The wall is starting to tumble down.
This machine should play. You gotta have faith.
Well, the machine doesn't want you to win.
I know.
No, the Joshua thing is to give you false hope. But the wall is starting to leak. So that's something. How are you doing on quarters?
I have some.
Well, a lot of chips are coming down. How is it even staying up? I mean, half the chips are gone. Can you see, guys? Half the chips are gone on the right hand. Oh! Well, that's one wall completely down. Don't stop now.
I was looking at what my best play was.
It's a very catchy song, I gotta say.
I do agree.
Okay, the only problem here is we're not getting any quarters back. How we doing on quarters, Britt?
Good.
Oh, we got a quarter.
Woohoo!
We got one quarter back after all of those. That's 2 quarters back. We've gotten 2 quarters back, ladies and gentlemen.
Woohoo!
Yeah, it seems to me that ladies and gentlemen will probably be doing something better with their time than watching this. But whoever is out there, okay, we did get one wall down. That was very impressive. Let's see if we can do it again. But don't waste quarters. You're piling quarters on top of quarters. Aha! Okay, 2 more quarters. I think we've crossed the Rubicon, or once we reach the point where quarters are coming back. That was just a chip. Once we reach the point where quarters are coming back,
It's a good sign.
oh, it's a great sign because it means if we're actually getting the quarters back, we can keep playing. You know, once we reach the point where we get the quarters back, we can play as long as we want. Or until the Steelers slots. Here's 2 more. Until the Steelers slots take all the quarters.